The Caribbean's most beloved Calypso king has been keeping secrets from his fans for decades. And today, we're revealing everything about David Rudder's private world that will shock you. At 72 years old, this Trinidad legend is battling a serious health condition while sitting on a $5 million empire that most people never knew existed. From his mysterious wife Christine, to his 5 children who rarely appear in public, and the devastating diagnosis that changed everything. We're going inside the hidden life of the man they call the Hammer. Born David Michael Rudder on May 6, 1953, in the Colonial Hospital in Port of Spain, Trinidad, his story begins with struggle that would shape the warrior he became. One of 9 children in a working-class family, young David faced his first battle before he could even walk properly. He contracted polio as a small child, leaving his left leg permanently damaged and giving him the distinctive walk that fans recognize today. While other kids ran and played cricket in the streets of Belmont, David spent countless hours with his spiritual Baptist grandmother, absorbing the rhythms and melodies that would later make him a legend. His childhood was marked by poverty, but rich in culture. His mother Elsie was a devoted housewife who baptized him as an Anglican, while his father Lionel McLean worked the brutal oil fields of La Brie in South Trinidad, coming home exhausted and covered in crude oil. The family struggled to make ends meet, but David found escape in the arts. At just 11 years old, he discovered his voice could move people when he joined a group called The Solutions. And by his teens, he was singing backup vocals in the legendary Lord Kitchener's Calypso tent. But David's real passion wasn't just music. He showed incredible talent as a visual artist, becoming an apprentice to the late Ken Morris, a master craftsman known for his copperwork and carnival designs. Even today, at 72, Rudder still paints and considers himself more of an artist than a musician. This artistic vision would later influence his revolutionary approach to Calypso, transforming the genre from simple party music into powerful social commentary that spoke to the Caribbean soul. The turning point came in 1986 when David was working as an accounts clerk at the Public Transport Service Corporation, dreaming of something bigger while crunching numbers by day and singing backup by night. He had spent years in the shadows, watching other performers take center stage while he remained invisible. Then fate intervened in the form of an album that would change Caribbean music forever. The Hammer didn't just launch David Rudder's career, it smashed every expectation of what Calypso could be. The album's title track, The Hammer, became an instant anthem that spoke to the struggles of working-class Caribbean people. But it was Bahia Girl that truly showcased Rudder's genius, blending traditional Calypso with Brazilian influences in a way that had never been done before. The album's success was unprecedented. David became the first artist in history to capture the 3 major competition titles in the same year, something that had never been achieved and has never been repeated. Overnight, David Rudder transformed from a humble accounts clerk to a national hero. As journalist Dezan McLean wrote in Village Voice, almost overnight, David Rudder became a national hero of the Order of Mali in Jamaica, Fela in Nigeria, and Springsteen in New Jersey. But with fame came intense scrutiny of his personal life, something the intensely private artist has always struggled with. This is where the mystery of his family life begins. While David has always been open about his music and political views, he has guarded his personal relationships with fierce determination. His wife Christine remains one of the most mysterious figures in Caribbean music. Unlike other celebrity wives who embrace the spotlight, Christine has chosen to stay completely out of the public eye. There are virtually no photographs of her, no interviews, and no social media presence. She exists in David's world like a ghost, supporting him from the shadows while maintaining her own identity and privacy. What we do know about Christine comes from rare glimpses David has shared over the years. She is described as his anchor, the steady force that keeps him grounded when the pressures of fame threaten to overwhelm him. Sources close to the family describe her as highly educated, deeply spiritual, and fiercely protective of their children's privacy. She reportedly met David during his early career days and has been with him through every triumph and struggle since. The couple's approach to raising their children has been equally private. David has 5 children, but their exact ages and David's approach to his illness reflects his lifelong philosophy of facing challenges head-on with dignity and grace. He has used his platform to raise awareness about Parkinson's disease, particularly its effects on artists and musicians. He has also accelerated his efforts to preserve and document Caribbean musical traditions, working with young artists to ensure the culture he helped shape continues to thrive. The diagnosis has also sparked renewed appreciation for David's incredible achievements. His awards and honors read like a who's who of Caribbean recognition. He received the Hummingbird Silver Medal from the government of Trinidad and Tobago in 1992, one of the country's highest honors. In 1996, he was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Development Program, recognizing his role as a cultural bridge builder and advocate for Caribbean development. More recently, in 2022, David received the Order of the Caribbean Community, considered the highest award in the region. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to Caribbean culture and unity, the ceremony was one of the rare occasions where Christine appeared publicly by his side. Though she remained in the background, supporting her husband while maintaining her preferred anonymity, David's influence on music extends far beyond Calypso. His collaborations with artists like Machel Montano and Alison Hinds helped bridge generational gaps in Caribbean music, while his work with international artists brought Caribbean sounds to global audiences. His songs have been featured in Hollywood films, including the 1991 movie Wild Orchid, where he appeared performing on a beach in the final scene. But perhaps his greatest achievement is his role as a cultural ambassador. Through his music, David has educated the world about Caribbean history, struggles, and triumphs. Songs like Haiti, I'm Sorry, addressed the international community's treatment of Haiti, while Rally Round the West Indies became an anthem for Caribbean unity and pride. He has consistently used his platform to address social issues, from poverty and inequality to environmental destruction and political corruption. As David faces the challenges of Parkinson's disease, his legacy is secure, but his story is far from over. Recent performances, including his appearance at the Caribbean Vibrations Festival in Toronto, show that despite his health challenges, he can still captivate audiences with his powerful voice and magnetic stage presence. His final full-scale concert, performed on his 70th birthday at the Sound Forge in Trinidad, was a celebration of a life devoted to art and service. The mystery surrounding David's family life may never be fully solved. And perhaps that's exactly how he wants it. In an age of social media oversharing and celebrity exploitation, David and Christine have created a sanctuary where their children can grow up with privacy, dignity, and strong values. Their approach to fame and family offers a powerful alternative to the typical celebrity lifestyle. Looking toward the future, David continues to write and compose, though at a slower pace due to his condition. He is reportedly working on what may be his final album, a collection of songs that reflects on his life, his love for the Caribbean, and his hopes for future generations. Christine remains his closest collaborator and strongest supporter, while their children are positioned to carry on his legacy in whatever ways they choose. David Rudder's private world reveals a man who has successfully balanced public greatness with personal authenticity. His $5 million empire reflects not just financial success, but a lifetime of smart decisions and staying true to his values. His mysterious wife, Christine, represents the kind of partnership that supports greatness without seeking its own spotlight. His children embody the hope that success can be passed down without corruption or entitlement. The health scare that threatens to slow him down has only highlighted what fans have always known: David Rudder is more than a musician. He's a cultural treasure whose influence will outlive any physical limitations. His private world, carefully guarded and deliberately mysterious, has allowed him to create art that speaks to universal truths while maintaining the personal authenticity that makes his music so powerful. At 72, Facing Parkinson's disease, but surrounded by love and legacy, David Rudder remains the hammer still, capable of breaking through barriers and touching hearts with the power of his art and the example of his life. His private world may be revealed in glimpses, but the full story of this Caribbean king continues to unfold, one carefully chosen note at a time. Subscribe now to discover which other Caribbean